I think one of the major benefits of deregulation is by virtue of the definition itself, it's saying that the government is actually moving out of that particular service or activity and pushing it to the private sector to deal with. The minute you do that, certain things begin to happen. The first thing is that being a private sector activity, there's investments, and most private sector people want to return on their investment. Then it implies that they've got to be efficient, and because you've deregulated, that means there are more people operating. It's not a monopoly of government, and therefore there's competition. Because there's competition, you all have to be efficient and all have to try and see how you can become profitable. You all have to see how you can offer better service. In order to do all these things, it means you have to run a very, very good and tight organization. In order to run a good and tight organization, you have to get people, your processes right, your people right, recruit the right people, pay them the right amount, offer the right training, and a whole host of other things that ensures that your organization is operating a lot better than the man next door. So that's the fundamental thing about this concept of deregulation and how it begins to impact organizations, even the man on the street, even the way of life that we have today. We take a good example, we deregulated the telecom sector. A lot of people have developed the skills and the capability to operate in that way. You look at the systemic impact it has had, the value chain to support the whole telecoms industry, the ecosystem around it. More and more people are involved, more and more people are trained, more and more people are equipped to be able to deal with these things. So the concept of deregulation is one that it touches our lives in so many ways, and the most fundamental thing about it is that it gets government out of that business for which it is not designed to do, and puts it in the hands of the people that are hungry enough to do it. Well, I mean, the fact that remains here is that our economy is not growing the way it should. But having said that, we need to be careful, because whenever we make statements like that, I always say let's look at it in a regional way. You find out that you look at certain regions of the country, the economic rate of activity is a lot higher than other parts of the country. That's the first thing. Unemployment is a lot lower in some parts of the economy compared to others. So there's this general disparity that exists. But having said that, when you look at it in totality, there's no doubt about it that the economy is not moving the way it should, because the true measure for me of a good economy is the number of people that are employed, the number of jobs that you have, the number of families that you can feed, the number of people that are doing things, waking up every morning and doing something. So I believe that that is a true measure. And when we look at Nigeria in that context, there are many, many people that are not in that category. The more so people that are young, people that have the energy to work, a huge band of the workable workforce, if I want to put it that way, that's not employed. Now, how can we resolve this problem? We say that we've got to grow the economy. The thing is, you've got to get involved in those things that involve people. That takes me back to Nigeria and where we used to be several years ago. We were basically an agricultural country. We developed tremendous competencies in agriculture, and because of this competence we had in agriculture, people were training, our banking system was geared towards agricultural support, we had research institutes that were geared towards agricultural support, the whole concept of our railway system was towards agriculture. So many things were geared towards that, and we were developing competencies in that area, and more people were involved. But what happened is that oil turned up. And when oil came, we all abandoned agriculture and thought that, why would I have to work hard to earn $1 when somebody is doing the work by just drilling and passing the money to me? So rather than take the revenues that we had from oil to promote agriculture to the extent that we are now having a lot of backward integration, we are now, before things really began to crumble, we were having all these industrial estates. The industrial estates, Agbara Industrial Estate, Ikeja Industrial Estates, many all around the country. And what was happening is that they were all now beginning to beneficiate the raw materials that we're producing from agriculture. And that process should have carried on, but unfortunately it was truncated. But when that process happened, people were involved in farming and were now getting involved in the manufacturing and all the value chain of activities involved there. We need to get ourselves back to that stage. We need to sort of look at all the various areas that we must be in order to make progress. Our educational system is gone bad because there's been no pool for good quality people, because our industrial sector has been very, very slow. If the industrial sector had been very active, there will be a continuous pull for good quality people. I would have been forced to generate and create good quality people. But the demand has been low, and therefore the response has sort of been likewise. If you ask me the way forward, I believe that this government, this country, should spend a tremendous amount of money in infrastructure development. We should build major roads, and I'm not talking of just your normal maintenance. Really invest in building roads. I think by doing that, building our roads, building our railways, and so on and so forth, we begin to open up opportunities for various people to participate.